Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Dr. Giggles, in the house. This week we have actually an amazing show for each and every one of you that are listening and the ones that watch after the fact. This week, we're going to talk about Knoebels opening weekend. We're going to talk about their new coaster called Impulse. But as well as that, at about 9:20, Bret and Mark. Bret is the Ace New Jersey rep, and Mark is his assistant. And they're going to be calling in. You're going to be able to hear I tested everything out. Everything worked a minute ago, so it should still work. And we're going to go over all the events that they could talk about surrounding Con. We're going to talk about Coaster Con. And any questions that you do have, make sure that you put them in the chat here next to the screen. And, we can ask them. And we'll try to get everything that we can get answered that they're allowed to talk about for Coaster Con. So this is actually going to be an awesome show. I love when we have call-in guests. It's good. Is it working for you guys? It's working on my end. It's streaming. It's playing. I'm on it. Oh, can you guys see? Everything's a go on my end. I don't know what you guys see. Can you guys see? Somebody out there in TV land, answer me if you can see. I know there's a delay and it takes a minute to kick in. Oh, Larry, Coaster Kev, Brandon, can you hear me? Anybody that's watching, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Tested 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me, gentlemen? All right, you can hear me. Okay. I know there's a delay and it's not working. Anyway, so like I said, we're going to talk about Knoebels. We're going to talk about Impulse. We're going to talk about Coaster Con events and all that good stuff. We're also going to talk a little bit about Wicked Cyclone as well, because it's the hype leading up. We got about 3 weeks to go, roughly, and we'll be riding that bad boy. So first, let's start with a little Wicked Cyclone to kick off the show. Unless you've been living under a rock, then guess what? If you're living under a rock, that's just bad for you. The video has been posted by Six Flags the other day, and there's a video of it actually testing first run, successfully made it through, and it looks actually beautiful. I mean, when it comes down that first drop, makes its turn, and goes into the stall, it's a beautiful thing. The video spread like wildfire, which is great. Everybody's been watching it. The views on it just keep going up and up and up and up and up. And I don't know. I don't know what you guys thought about it, but you know what? I thought it looked amazing. I can't wait. I'm glad that we get to ride it. The media day, and then when it opens on the 23rd, it is going to be amazing. Just watching it go, it didn't have full weight of what a full train would be in, but it was still, hauling some ass, and it was just going, and it looked great. It just gets me excited just to see it, because I think, in my opinion, I mean, I haven't ridden it, so I don't know yet, but I think my opinion on this is it's definitely bringing new life to a ride that was dying out. Over the years, and then all the different alterations and different trains and everything that's been on this ride, it has become, it was something that was either rip it down, leave it alone, or turn it into this. Well, I'm glad that they, after seeing what it's going to do, actually physically seeing it run a train on the track, it looks good. Now it's just a wait to see the opinions after we ride it. The video has Dub's disease. Yeah, what's Dub disease? What is Dub disease? Yeah, I don't know what that is. But still, it's going to be amazing. And we should, basically, I'll agree with you on that. I mean, I know it was rough because back, I want to say it was 2010 or 9 when they did the Stridathon, the first one, and let me tell you, that was a rough ride. That was before they did any retracking, any of anything. It was just, it's rough as rough could be, and my back was in pain for days after that. No, well, of course it's not going to match. It's feeding in, the video's feeding through one device, and the microphone over here is plugged into a mixing board, which is then feeding into this, so it's not going to match up correctly, but that's okay. Yeah, it worked pretty well on Ustream, and this is the first time that I'm using this on YouTube, so it is what it is. It's going to lag. But anyway, so I think after that, then when they went to the top of track, I think it just really took its power away from it and just weakened it. Now, that's all gone. We now have Wicked Cyclone, and I think it's going to be awesome. I really do. That's my opinion. I'll give my better opinion on it, after Media Day. So, that is what's going to... well, yeah, it's going to sound... Does it sound good or does it sound bad? That's the question. I don't know if it sounds good or it sounds bad. I don't know if it sounds, I don't know if it sounds better or if it sounds worse. That's why this is all just playing with equipment. That's all it is. All right, so everything's good. That's good. I love it when we have a plan and everything is working good. All right, so enough of the Wicked Cyclone. Let's talk Knoebels opening weekend. Some strange things happen, and we'll talk about Impulse. Now, let's get to the Impulse, because a lot of people didn't know what to think about it, because it's virtually just about the same thing as Untamed up at Canopy Lake. It's like a Eurofighter, except that the restraints are a hell of a lot different. And I gotta say, the coaster is really quiet. When, while you're waiting in line, and even when you're riding it, you can't really hear it going. It's kind of like a Prius. You just don't hear it going. But the restraints were really comfortable. They're kind of weird. They're probably about, say, yay long, and they have handlebars like a bike or a motorcycle on them. But they were comfy. I wasn't stapled in. It was a fun ride. All the elements to it, from the loops to your little hang times to everything that they had with it, at first when when they said, "Oh, Impulse coming, steel coaster," I thought for a second it just doesn't fit Knoebels. Everybody knows it as a classic theme park, a wooden coaster theme park, or amusement park. You have your classic flats, you have your wooden coasters, you have your dark rides. It's just an awesome place to be. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Knoebels. So when I saw this coming in, I'm like, ooh, is this the meaning? The tides are changing, and it actually fits. It's not huge, like one of these big theme parks. It's not a big coaster like from Six Flags or Cedar Fair or Busch Gardens. Nothing like that. It fits totally. It's not huge. It's comfortable. It's not rough. It was actually fun. I was like, I have to ride this more. So it's definitely, it's worth the ride. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. There is no seatbelts on this ride. It is just a weird rectangular sort of lap bar, just long. You literally could put a plate of food on it, and if it would stay on it, you could eat on it. You didn't know what, we would put our hands up, or you'd hold the handlebars as a joke, pretend you're riding a motorcycle. It's just a weird restraint. I've never seen one like it. It doesn't hurt. There's no head bashing. It's a lot of fun. I almost wish that Canopy Lake would get rid of their trains and put this on it. That train is awesome. It's comfortable. It is a fun ride. I can't say enough good things about it. If you haven't ridden it, you need to go and ride it. It's really good. Besides it, the line was long all day. That's just how Knoebels is. When Knoebels opens a new ride, specifically new coasters and stuff, there's always a long ride to ride it. Because, hey, since me going in 2010 with AJ, the first time I ever went, every coaster that they've had has been a hit. I mean, Twister was rough, but it's not really that rough anymore. I used to hate riding Twister. It was rough. It was always giving me a headache, and now I actually like it. Shocking, I know, but I actually like it. You know, Phoenix is awesome. Black Diamond's awesome. We didn't ride flying turns. And the reason that being is they only had one train going, and the line was pushing close to 2 hours. Even though the whole queue wasn't really, it was to the, the entrance of the queue, it was an hour and 45-minute wait with one train. So we opted not to because we're going to go to Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. So hopefully, it's the beginning, it was opening weekend. I'm sure they're going to have a bunch of the trains going. Everything's going to be good by then. So was I upset I didn't ride flying turns? Yes. But at the same time, I got to ride everything else. I rode the Haunted Mansion. I rode, we had exclusive ride time on Impulse with the event that we went to. And there was food, good food. They had ham, and they had chicken, and coleslaw. And they had some cake, and I can't remember what else they had. But they had some other stuff to eat. Oh, potatoes au gratin thing or something. It was, the event was good. ERT was good. It's Knoebels. May got the brass ring one time. We rode the carousel. We rode it twice. We rode the... I have to say, though, ERT, they also had on bumper cars. And let me tell you, that was probably the most violent, insane bumper car battle I've ever been in. Actually, some people took out a couple cars that had to stop the ride, put somebody else in another, put the person in another car and go. Cars were getting smashed, lifted up in the air. It was a brutal battle, but it was fun. People just hitting each other, going crazy. Because think about it. You got all of us enthusiasts, and we got ERT in the bumper cars. And we went nuts. People would just bang, bang, bang. It was awesome. I've never had, what do you call it? I've never had a bumper car battle like that in my life. And I hope to experience that again. I think I only need to ride with experienced bumper car riders because that was nuts. People were just getting hit from every which way. People were spinning out, twirling around like a baton. It was nuts. So, yeah. But here now, as we go into the weird incident at the campground now, this was weird. It's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. We're all hanging out by the campfire. My youngest son, Jeremy's asleep in the tent. Now, this lady kept coming over that was next to us and saying, hey, my phone, have you seen a guy, in black running around them? And then we were like, nah, we didn't. And then the lady comes back later, like around this time, and goes, a guy just went in your tent, and my phone's been stolen. And we're like, do you know him? And we're like, no. So Devin runs in and checks on Jeremy. We all go chase this crazy guy to his tent, which was next to ours. Security came. Nothing was stolen. Jeremy wasn't touched. The guy was drunk, went in the wrong tent. Evidently, that was his story. I thought May was going to kill the guy. We all wanted to, kill the guy. It was just a weird moment. Like, I was shocked. Like, I was like, oh my God. We checked on Jeremy. Jeremy slept through the whole thing, didn't even know anything happened. Everybody checked all this stuff that was in my tent. Nothing, the kids' iPads and video game things. Nobody stole money. Nobody stole anything. It was just a really creepy moment. And then when we woke up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, the two guys were packing up and getting the hell out. Actually, on the Sunday, a bunch of us were like, hey, we got invited to go do a billboard shoot for Impulse. So we go down there, we fill out the forms, and maintenance is working on it, and to make a long story short, it didn't happen. They wanted to get the ride open for opening with the park, and they couldn't do it, but they were apologizing, profusely about it, and they actually gave us all a bunch of ride tickets and food vouchers, and we're like, you didn't have to do that, no big deal. And they figured, well, because we waited around for a couple hours, and Knoebels has top-notch customer service, and Knoebels is just one of those places that you have to go. If you've never been, get off your butt, make plans, and go. Just go. Yeah, it's for people up here. It's like a 6-hour ride or so, maybe longer, maybe shorter, but you know what? It's worth it. Yeah, there's not many parks I can say that are worth that kind of long of a drive, and that is one of them. There are a few, but that's definitely one of them that's worth the long drive. So, it's just how it is. And, Knoebels was awesome. Opening weekend was awesome. There were tons of crowds, awesome food, great, it was just a great time. I've never gone to an opening weekend before. And usually I'm pretty hesitant on going to opening weekend of anything just because, excuse me, it's the beginning of their season. And we all know it's just, you're waking the beast. So some things don't usually work out the way you want them to, but for the most part, everything, ran pretty much good. I mean, Impulse had a few problems here and there, but nothing major. They might have been down for a few minutes and then right back up. Nothing huge, nothing crazy. So it was just a great. It was a great time. But if you're looking for a less time, a time with less people, and you want to try and get more rides in, go during the week. That's when they have the bracelets, especially before you hit the 4th, while school's in and they have the park open. It's like open till 6, and then they have the educational days. It's like $20, $25 for a bracelet for the whole day. Impulse is included in the bracelet, so you don't have to worry about tickets, so that's good. But yeah, it's like I said, if you haven't been to Knoebels, go. And now in a few minutes, any minute now, you know what? I wish Knoebels would open up a satellite park, a little sister park in New England. That would be awesome. Imagine if they built another Knoebels up this way. It won't happen, but it would be cool if it did. I would love for them to expand and put one up here. That would be awesome. But anyway, any minute now, in a couple minutes or so, Bret is going to call in, and along with Mark, and we are going to and then I'm going to put on my goofy headphones so I can actually hear Bret and Mark. Everything, like I said, is ready to go, and we're going to get. I have the flyer up on this other screen over here. And I'm going to bounce between flyer and questions. Anybody that has questions, feel free to ask. If they can answer them, they will answer them. I will scoop them up. I'm sure Bret and Mark can read the screen here, with the questions. But we'll just keep asking the questions. We'll keep, we'll ask them, and we'll talk with Bret. Bret and Mark can give us the information that we need to know, because for those that don't know, CoasterCon is definitely one of those events that if you can swing it, you go to. That's the must-go-to event of the year. And for this year, never mind the surrounding events, but this year, CoasterCon is at Six Flags New England, Storybook Land, in Maury's Pier. And who is this? Oh, and here we go, guys. Hello, welcome to the Grove Show.
Hey, it's Bret.
Hey, how you doing, Bret?
Good, how you doing? Let me see if I can get Mark real quick. He's on the old line. Hang on.
All right.
Mark, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Who's that? Is that Larry on the other line? Who's that?
No, that's me, and then we got Mark, and we have Bret, correct?
Yep, and Mark's here. Yeah.
How you doing, Mark?
Good, how are you doing?
Not bad. Can't complain. Can't complain.
Yeah? It's still winter up there?
Is it what?
Is it still winter up there? You still have snow?
No, snow's finally gone. Thank God. Actually, it's finally going to hit.
Okay, cool.
It's going to finally hit 70 degrees this week coming up. Next week, it's finally going to hit 70. I'm shocked.
Ooh.
I know.
Anyways. That's cool.
All right, guys. So everybody's here, and then people, when the show is done airing, will watch. So what can you guys tell us about Con? I mean, people have seen the flyer. You know, obviously, because this is the preliminary, the beginning. It's not the final flyer. So people have questions, obviously, and they'll be asking.
No, that was just, the flyer is just enough to, link you to enough information so you can find out and get registered and all that. The official, schedule, itinerary, whatever that we put out on, registration day, check-in day, excuse me, is that's what it is, and we're still working on that because there's lots of little details to still work out, but don't worry, we're working on it. What do you? I mean, why don't you ask us? And one of the other of us will have an answer. So.
All right. Well, obviously, I mean,
I'm trying to log in on a friend's computer right now, so I'm trying to walk and chew gum at the same time, so I'm not too good at that. So just give me a second. I got to type in my
no problem.
Here. Okay.
Well, how about we start with this? There are some people that are watching that have never been to Storybook Land, such as myself, and
oh, really?
I've never been. No,
you've never been?
No.
Well, you're excused. You live in Rhode Island. You should. Well, not that I don't want you to June 24th, but we we do like this really, really awesome Christmas event there. Wait, I'm just about getting the link right now. Hold on.
Yeah, let him log in. Yeah, so we have a Christmas event every year. I think Josh is aware of that. And
first Saturday in December.
Yep.
This year, I think it's the 5th. Yes. Oh, you know what? No, I got you up on YouTube, and I think there's a delay.
Yeah, there is a delay.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm going to leave it on the phone.
Ignore the screen, Mark.
Why don't you tell me that? I'm technically challenged. Oh, sorry. Anywho, but yeah, okay. This is much better now. I've been talking on the phone for 50-something years, so I'm good at that. Yeah, Storybook Land. It's going to be a little weird because we're used to it in December with, the million Christmas lights and Santa Claus and all that stuff. And I even asked if maybe we could just get Santa Claus to make a special appearance, and it's like, probably no, but I did ask. And we're really, really hoping that a lot of people, it's like your ticket's included, so you might as well stop. What else you got to do on Wednesday morning on the way to Wildwoods?
Yeah, it was on the way, so, for sure.
Yeah, and they always give us they have so taken to us that, they love us. They love Ace. They really want to do everything they can for us. And they're just wonderful people. It's, the Vacano family. It's let's see, JJ and Jessica are third generation. Their father, John, is second. It was his parents who started the place 60 years ago, same age as Disneyland, 1955. And it's just, they just do everything there so well. Yeah. And it's really top-notch operation.
Yeah, it's such a family-owned and operated park that when you leave, usually the owner is saying goodbye, making sure your day is good as you leave. So it's I was thinking it was like our little Knoebels in New Jersey, because it's really family-run and operated. So
yeah, but those are the best parks though, because
they really are. They really are.
Yeah.
Every year our winter event attracts more people. You really catch the charm of the park, and you want to bring more people to show them. And I think people that have come to our winter event are going to be really surprised at what the park looks like when all the trees are full bloom. Because I went in early October, and it's just such a beautiful park. In the winter they have the lights, and then in the summer and in the early fall, there's it's just really nice. Lots of trees, lots of shade, and just a really nice place to be. And so everyone's going to have a good time. Hopefully everyone will stop there for sure.
Well, I'm definitely, my little crew, I'm bringing Jeremy, my little one that you probably, I don't even think you met him. My youngest.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I met him.
No. But I'm bringing him. This is his big boy chance. So he's going to experience some new stuff as well as I am. So I'm making sure that we hit all the stops. We're trying to hit every pre-con event, every after-con event. I'm trying to make, he finally hit 54 inches, so I'm trying to make this like his big, trip that he's never been.
Yeah.
He's never been to Great Adventure.
He's gonna be great.
Yes.
He hasn't been on Nitro or anything. Oh wow, that's
yeah. He's
getting all at once.
I know I think he's gonna hit his 100th credit at Maury's Pier. We figured it out by all the events we're going leading up to CoasterCon. So what I think I'm going to do is make him do. I'm going to ask him, not make him, but I'm trying to get him to do Great White because that was my 200. So I figured, kind of like a father-son thing. I did it 200. Yeah. He did it 100.
That'd be weird. Yeah.
I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
I mean, anything there would be good. Yeah. I mean, every ride there is something. You know what I mean? It's like the Flitzer. That's like I don't want to say this too loud, but it's actually my favorite coaster there. And the Sea Serpent. America's First Boomerang. It's the Nor'easter. It's got the freedom flight seats, and it just everything there is unique. And by the way, I do want to get a plug in there before Kong has arrived, or actually I should say returned to New Jersey for the first time since 1975. I think the old one stopped operating. Anywho, do you know about the new Kong ride at Morris Surfside Pier?
The King Kong ride, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not old enough, but way back in the early 70s when Morris first started Surfside Pier, they had the big Kong ride. It was actually a circular biplane ride, and Kong had a little Fay Ray up in his little hand, and her legs would wiggle, and it ran for maybe 3-4 years till about 75 or so, and then they took the plane ride down, but Kong was still there, and then they went to Uber one day in 1980, and he kind of fell apart. So, Maury's been busy with other stuff since then, so they finally got the idea. They knew they wanted a new centerpiece ride for Surfside, since the Condor left a few years ago, and they got this idea. Kind of in the same way they did the Wave Swinger last year on an elevated building. The Wave Swinger is like 12 feet in the air. Well, so is Kong, but it's a flying scooter ride. And, everybody loves flying scooters. And actually, this is the only flying scooter ride in New Jersey. But the centerpiece is going to be a big, tall lighthouse with King Kong climbing, and in his hand, instead of Fay Ray, he's got a tram car. And, I mean, just so fun, real, just the kind of stuff that, Maury's loves to do. And they're so good at it. So I think his T-shirts, actually they originally had it a couple different concepts, and they actually put it out for public feedback, and they did tweak it a little. I think they might have changed the shirt. I think originally it had Statue of Liberty in his hand or something like that, but they jerseyed it up, they wildwood it up, and anywho, that's going to be their big new ride this year, and the parks have arrived. And then today I saw a picture with Tim Sampson, their publicity guy, who was kind of joking around with King Kong, and
actually I saw that.
I saw that too. Yeah, in fact, as soon as we hang up, I was going to go put them up on every place that they need to be seen, all the Facebook pages and stuff. So, so that'll be pretty awesome. I mean, every year they do something really, really cool, and this year it's that. So, and then I think they're always constantly, upgrading the, food and beverage, and they're again, I know I sound like a broken record, but they really are, Class A operation down there. They just do everything so wonderfully, and I think they're going to really blow everybody away with CoasterCon. So
I think so.
Is that what we're supposed to talk about?
I mean, the whole thing with Con. I mean, we all go to Great Adventure. We all love Great Adventure, but I'm actually more excited about Maury's just because that's a new thing for me. I went that one time for Coasting by the Ocean, and I'm like, this place is awesome. Maury's is just.
Well, we've been doing that for 8 years.
It's a weird, unique place because during the day it's one way, and at nighttime it's like a totally different place, a whole different vibe, different people. I love just it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of doing Coney Island. Coney Island, down there is that similar kind of vibe.
Yeah, a little less crowded. It's it's not New York City, but
yeah,
actually, it gets crowded enough in the summer. You think it might be? It's hard to walk in the summer. Yeah. Well, I've been going to Wildwood since I was a kid. Over 50 years. And I remember way back then, most of the rides didn't even operate during the day because everybody only went at night.
Yeah, it's hot.
You never
hot
saw
over
lots or anything until, and then of course you had to, go have dinner with Grandma and Grandpop and stand in line for 5 hours outside of Groff's. And
yeah, traditionally everybody would hit the beach in the daytime and then shower up. Dinner, then the boards, and then have dinner and then go to Boardwalk. Yeah.
At Seaside's the same. I mean, I don't. Well, of course I don't know because I was allowed to go to Seaside when I was a kid.
That's the whole story.
Yeah, that's an episode in itself. Thanks to Mom. They never took me to Palisades either. Never forgiven. Used to sit and watch the commercials every year. Yeah. Closed when I was 11.
That's probably for anybody listening to doing the con. Each boardwalk in New Jersey, if you haven't visited them all, or have their own little unique spin and flavor to them as far as what they offer and the vibe of them. And Ocean City has fancy shops, and Seaside has the cheap T-shirt shops, but they have more the thrill rides over Ocean City, and they all have their own really unique food. And Wildwood, it's all about the gyros and things, and gear, whatever you want to call it. Oh, here we go. So, but in Seaside, you'd be hard pressed to find one. You wouldn't even find one on the boardwalk. So it's kind of yeah. There's like one or two shops, maybe, not like it is in Wildwood, but you can get some crazy pizza in Seaside. So.
Yeah, you can't get pork roll in Wildwood.
Oh, you can tell him? You get pork roll in Wildwood.
Yeah.
Well, you can get pork roll in Wildwood if Bret cooks it at the hotel.
That's right. He comes to the hotel, cook it on the... I might not even have an opportunity. I got so many meals down there, including breakfast in the sky. I don't know if everything's...
I know.
I heard that got sold out. I heard Breakfast in the Sky is sold out.
There's still some, just the first two loads, the first two loading periods. Like, I think 8 and 8:15 or 8 and 8:30. I forget exactly what the increments were, but there's still 2 spots open. It hasn't sold out that much, but it did go fast when they first put it up there. So, I was actually pleased to see that. But yeah, I mean, Bret just did such. He's still doing it. I mean, like all these, just posting everything he can find about food and like. I just feel like no one's going to have enough time. I mean, you need like 2 weeks to eat everything in New Jersey.
Yeah, I saw all the food. All the
New Jersey has a blessing and a curse. The curse is, and it's also a blessing, we have so many parks and so many places to go within this 100-mile radius, and so many things to see, not just park related, but we have food and diners and just crazy amount of things to do, and it's a small state. It's like with 3 hours north and south and 1 hour east and west, so you can. We're packed with things to do, the Funplex and all the small parks along the way. So I've been trying to gather some information, so when you check in at the hotel, we'll be able to guide people if they want to take small excursions and trips. We'll have brochures and possibly some discounts and things like that. And I've gotten some, I already got some brochures with some non-amusement park stuff to do, like in Wildwood. They have this crazy speedboat that holds like 60 people. It's like one of the fastest speedboats in the world as far as that size goes, and you go whale watching, and you do like 80 miles an hour on the ocean in this thing. It's called Silver Bullet. You can look it up. So I said that boat is right up our alley. He immediately sent us some brochures right away. So it sounds like really cool.
Now, do they still have the monster truck down there? And I mean, there's all kinds of stuff.
Every week there's something going on in Wildwood, man. Whether it's the World Marble Competition, camping on the beach, there's always something going on, And if you check the Maury site, they always have your calendar events. Actually, we're at the end of our event. There's a big event, and they're coming in Friday as we're leaving, and it's a huge event.
The soccer ball?
Yeah,
I'm not supposed to call them that. Excuse me, Beach Jam.
Beach Jam.
Jam's the one target.
Yeah, I ran into Beach Jam once by accident. I was like, why am I parking out here? What are they doing? I'm like, oh, it's Beach Jam. We just left.
I forget how many thousand kids.
Well, we'll be out of there.
Soccer games going on the beach at once. But yeah, they're all coming Friday. That's why we gotta hightail it out of there on Friday. And one thing, in case anybody's, I don't know how much hair splitting detail we want to get into, but that's the one point I'm a little nervous about, is that the Coast Con activity goes till 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. and pretty much every hotel, motel is requiring an early checkout. But I mean, you'll at least be able to, put your car somewhere. I mean, Friday afternoon, I can't imagine lots are going to, even with Beach Jam coming in, lots won't be more than $6. It's only June.
Yeah.
That's everything people don't.
You literally, when you check out, just park across the street and pay the lot, and then you're good to go
Yeah,
for the day.
or even, and Boy said they're going to, work on getting as many, free lots as we can. I'm thinking we may, actually, definitely, and Brett, we got to make this big, long list. I've been talking about this long list we got to make.
The long list.
I'm going to, I know Lava pretty well. I practically live there. I think I might do up a little map of, if you need free street parking, you can park on the street for free in North Wildwood.
Yeah.
And, find friends to drop you off or something. Or even walk. I mean, you just walk up the boardwalk and then...
Or you can take the tram. You can take the tram, too, if you wanted.
Well, or yeah, you can take the tram, but there's places to park. And it's just, anybody feel like they're getting pushed out of town. But, I mean, that's a minor thing. I don't know why I'm getting all going over that. But yeah, it's going to be a really awesome con. And now Sunday when we have check-in up at the hotel in East Windsor, we're hoping to put together a pretty good assemblage of just information tables, vendors, stuff like that. Like Bret said, we're definitely going to have the hospitality table, but I know maybe a couple other regions. We're thinking maybe a couple of other parks who might not be involved in the con. I don't know anybody because we haven't really even asked yet, but we have a couple ideas for batting around. The Ace General Store is actually going to move to the park for Monday and Tuesday. It's going to be at the hotel on Sunday, and then it's going to be set up inside the Showcase Theater in the park for Monday and Tuesday. That's pretty much going to be our Duck Away headquarters while we're at Great Adventure for those Sunday. Well, actually not Sunday, but all day Monday and Tuesday we'll be there. And it's just, we kind of wanted to make it convenient to stay in the park because, the hotel is not exactly across the street. And that's the other thing about Great Adventure. It's a blessing and a curse. We love that it's so isolated. They can build as high and as loud as they want. But if, you want to go find good pizza, you better wait till you're done with the park for the day because, it's just, nothing is close. Yeah, we're going to have just a pretty nice time just at the hotel on Sunday. I know the guys from Maury's are coming up. They just, even though we're not getting there till Wednesday afternoon, evening, they still want to be there at the beginning to sort of, give a nice charged welcome. And then, let's see. The other, it's not it's not overscheduled. Everyone's going to have enough time to enjoy the park, but there's a good solid slate of activities. We're going to have tours on Monday, like we usually do for Riding in the Bull. They're not. We may have the standard, under King Ka, under Nitro, one or the other, but we might do some off-the-wall ones we've never done before. We want to have some variety. Again, John Slausson's going to be in on that. He's a senior ops supervisor. He invented the backstage tours. He's been doing them for 19 years, I believe. And we're also going to have. Actually, I shouldn't say it's definite, but I don't think we want to say it yet. Something else is going to be going on. And then Tuesday, of course, we'll have the video contest in the park inside the Showcase Theater. We'll have a good slate of presentations, the annual business meeting. And the nice thing is that since the banquet is Thursday night in Wildwood, we don't have to rush up and finish all that and go get dressed for the banquet. So we have just nothing to do but dinner in the park. We're having Italian Tuesday night. We're actually going to give out the medals. We're going to announce the winners and have the medal ceremony for the Midway Olympics, which will be that Tuesday morning.
We want to expand on the Midway Olympics in case someone doesn't know what that is, just really quick.
Yeah, I jumped ahead there. The Midway Olympics, lucky us, this is the 13th annual. It started in 2003. Yes, thank you. We started in 2003 at CoasterCon 26 at Paramount Kings Dominion. So, our friend Jeff Siebert had a hand in that, and it's just something that we've continued, and it basically involves people get into teams, they sign up, we sort of tag team. Actually, we have one of our New Jersey volunteers, Jason Wallenberg, is coordinating the Midway Olympics with Melinda Gaspari, who's on the events committee. and they've already been through the park. I don't know how many times. He's devised up scoring, how they're gonna, like share games and stuff like that. That's all taken care of, and that's going to be Tuesday morning. But we're kind of twisting it up a little. We got a few things that are just. If you ever seen Beat the Clock on TV, where they tell you about the game, and then you say we're going to do, and then they give you like the rest of the rules, like you have to do it with one hand behind your back and standing on your. Well, yeah, we're doing that kind of stuff. But I don't want to give any more away about that. But that's Tuesday morning, and so yeah, we're continuing a pretty proud Coaster Con tradition.
Yeah, you know what?
The
Midway Olympics is wicked fun. Like every time I watch it, I have a good time just watching, not even participating. It's really funny to watch.
They did a really, yeah. Were you at the Six Flags Con, Six Flags New England 2 years ago con?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one I saw.
That was a really, really great Midway Olympics. Russ Ozana put that together. He's the rep up there, and actually Russ worked with Jason, a couple of the other reps who had done recent Midway Olympics. It was really a nice group effort, but I mean, Jason actually asked us, I don't know how many months ago, like, I want to do something. What do you think? And I was like, how about Midway Olympics? And he's like, yeah, sure. So, but Bret, tell me if I'm just battling on. What else do we?
No, you're doing good. You're doing good. I know we were trying to work on, we were trying to get a concert that we would top Dolly Parton, but Led Zeppelin wasn't available to a reunion.
Yeah,
Great Adventure, but we tried.
No, you know who it's got to be. If it's Great Adventure, it's got to be Southside Johnny.
There you go.
And I was going to say Leslie Gore, but she just died.
Oh,
I saw her at least 3 times there. Okay. Sorry, I was getting a little stage direction here. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But Tuesday night, though, the last night, we're actually finishing up Tuesday night at Great Adventure so we can get kind of sleep late and still get.
Hey, we're doing a Mexican buffet or what?
That's actually lunch on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
And we even said, we just like, that thing you do for riding in the bull, it's perfect. Don't touch a thing. That's what we want. So we figured that would be good for Monday lunch. And let's see.
What's Sunday dinner?
Tuesday. I'm sorry?
What's Sunday dinner? It just says, welcome at Garden of Eaton Catering.
We're working on it. That we're working on. And actually, I'm probably going to go up to the park within the next 10 days or so and speak with Dennis, the food and beverage guy, and see what we can cook up for Sunday and a few other details. But yeah, Sunday will be nice. That's all I can say right now.
Hey, that works for me.
But the other thing I wanted to drop in about Tuesdays, after we stuff ourselves full of whatever Italian they're cooking us up, is we have pretty much both ends of the park for ERT. That was the one thing that was kind of up in the air, but they finally said, yeah, sure, no problem. So we're having, and it's a full hour and a half all rides. They're not cutting anything short. But it's going to be at one end, Nitro Skull Mountain, and, well, we got to drop that, man, actually. I'm sure you heard about that. Nitro and Skull Mountain. At the other end, we'll have El Toro, Bizarro, and Runaway Train, and they're going to have cables running, so we can go back and forth.
Well, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
So they're also doing a cable ERT Monday morning. The ERT Monday morning is West End, Nitro, Skull Mountain, Dark Knight, a couple other things I forget. I should know this off the top of my head, but they're going to open up cables probably like the last half hour or so. It's for a round trip, so you can get photos. And hopefully it'll be nice weather. That's the other thing I kind of wanted to put out there too, though. It's like if it's nice weather Monday and Tuesday, the park will be very crowded because it's going to be the first 2 days the schools are out. Most of the schools get out like 18th, 19th, the week before. So, Bret, when's Bradley and Carter get out? Do you know?
Yeah, they get out the week I think the last day is the Thursday before the con, so yeah, like the 18th.
Yeah, it's like the 18th, yeah.
Yep.
So, like, all the schools are going to spill out, and every kid in Ocean County could be there. So, we're going to need other stuff to do, and we're going to need that ERT.
Yeah, because my son's actually missing the last day of school to do the Hershey event.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
So he's
not really, yeah.
They can mail his report.
Well, yeah, that kind of brings us up to like
getting summer cold.
Yeah, so we got a lot of events surrounding the con too. So we have the Hershey event. Is that
Yeah.
Thursday? Or is that
That's
Friday?
Friday.
Friday 19th.
Okay.
No, Thursday is the one that picks up everybody at the airport, but I digress.
Nice. And then
Thursday is when your house gets started right.
Yeah. Then
Friday is Hershey Park. Saturday is Borney in the morning and afternoon, and then Clements in the evening.
Yes.
And did we? Oh yeah, I just talked to Roland, our friend Roland Nichols at Clements, and I just spoke with him today. We're ironing out the details. We should have a flyer up in the next couple of days or so. That's going to be an hour of ERT on Hellcat, and we have the Hellcat Challenge.
Yeah.
If we get over 80 pre-registered, they will extend the ERT from an hour to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So we really want to push the pre-registration. You can still go. If you don't, you can pay when you get there. It's a few dollars more. I forget exactly how much. But
Yeah, we were looking at the prices, and they give us a really great deal on the event.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely a deal, even if you run in, do the coaster during it, and skip ERT. If you come late a little bit from Dorney and get there in the afternoon, if you haven't been there, I mean, the park is small, so it doesn't take 6 hours to explore the whole park. You can get there in the afternoon and grab your ERT, and it'll be well worth it as far as the
Yeah,
price
see, I've never
goes.
been there either. That's another
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah, I'm going.
That Hellcat is a really a pretty aggressive wheel coaster. Mark, is it taller than the Great White?
No, I think it's like Great White's 100. I think it's like 85, 88, something like that.
Is it?
Doesn't matter. It's very aggressive. I mean, even though you can't really compare, it's like apples and oranges, but I'd say it's every bit as aggressive as El Toro for what it is.
Yeah.
Really?
When it first opened, it reminded me of like the Raven. I mean, you just get dropped off and it just doesn't stop until you hit the brakes. So it's like,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's my kind of ride.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who it is their kind of ride and want to ride over. So that's why we wanted to get as much ERT as we could. But as far as the way they set up the Dorney event, it's going to be all the ERTs in the morning, so you won't miss anything if you try to do both. And I think they're doing an early lunch, probably around 11:30 noon. So, I mean, even if you hung out until Dorney, till like even 4:30 in the afternoon, I mean, it just on a Saturday. I mean, I can't imagine traffic through Philadelphia would be that bad on a Saturday. Because everybody down work. So you could probably get to Clementon in like an hour and a half, 2 hours at worst, absolute worst. So if you wanted to get there by 4, you could leave Dorney by 2 and be fine. So yeah, they gave us a really great deal, and they're just thrilled to have us. And Roland's like, we're all about having a great relationship with you guys. So we're fine with that.
Yeah, no kidding.
We haven't had an event there in a couple of years, but we need to get back in the swing. We've kind of been distracted by all that riding in the Bull and Hurricane and Coaster Con and all that other stuff.
That's was the best event they remembered. Highway to Hellcat.
Yep, I have a shirt.
Yep.
Highway to Hellcat. Now, with when you have Dorney, you have Clementon, and now you have Con. Now, you guys were talking about doing a seaside crawl after Maurice Pier was over.
Oh yeah, afterwards. Well, actually, no. Seaside is a firm event. Seaside Screens. It's the 9th annual. It's Saturday the 27th. The flyer just went up, and it's just as always, just $20. Just show up and buy your ticket there. Please RSVP, and actually, the same goes for Clementon too. Even if you're not going to pre-register, if you think you're going, even if it's the same day, just send us an email. And,
it helps. And maybe make some custom buttons for pre-register. To say I'm coming, I'll make sure I have one for you.
Yeah, but the park appreciates knowing too, so it helps them out. But yeah, now that's Saturday. But before we get up to Seaside, and this is kind of working out nice because the thing is, Friday night in June, you don't want to be heading south because the whole world's heading south. So we want to go in the opposite direction. So we'll be all finished up in Wildwood by 3 in the afternoon. We want to do a shore crawl. Now, I don't know how official this is going to be. We've contacted the parks. We're sort of kind of talking to them. I guess, we really kind of, well, we're not really looking to do anything official, like definitely no ERT or anything, but even if it's just like a sort of loosely collective visit, like you do a bar crawl. We just want to do what we're calling a short crawl. And it's going to be 3 stops. It's going to be Castaway Cove in Ocean City, Gillian's Wonderland in Ocean City, and Steel Pier in Atlantic City. And it can probably be done pretty easily without, rushing, get all the rides in, and just spend a little time at each of the boardwalks in probably, I'd say, under 5 hours. So we figure if we start it, of course you can show up at any time you want, once they open, but kind of aim for the Ocean City parks between 5 and 7, 5 and 8, and actually you can take the Island Hop Over Bridge up through Lake Longport, Margate, Ventnor into Atlantic City without having to go back to the Parkway. There's no northbound toll. It'll take you about a half an hour to drive from Ocean City to Atlantic City. And then, since that's the last stop for the evening, well, there's stuff to do in Atlantic City. So
yeah, it's actually not that expensive to stay in Atlantic City too. If you want to, you usually can get a decent room at a nice hotel, and you don't have to be, 21. You just got to be 21 to gamble. But there's it's pretty cool to stay there.
Yeah, I've stayed there one time. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, just because there's a lot of options. So, and there's so many stuff going on, even if it's not gambling. And once you're done with, Steel Pier, but in any case, whether you wake up in Atlantic City or you keep driving, Saturday morning, all you got to do is go north, and you'll still be going against traffic. So then, we'll be at Seaside. We're also trying to figure out how to work in a trip up to Jenkinson's and Point Pleasant Beach. I got the crazy idea a few years ago to rent a car service and have people shuttle back and forth, but I looked into it. It's just ridiculously expensive.
Well, how far are the two parks from each other?
11 miles.
Yeah, you can literally, in Point Pleasant, they used to have a Rolo plane. You could see Casino Pier from the top of that.
Yep.
I remember that. Yeah.
That was the only licensed Seaside I ever saw.
Yep.
Going out to...
there you go again, bringing that whole story up there about the Seaside. That's as close as he got, right? Yeah, so it's not that far. It's actually, the drive, sometimes there's a little bit of traffic. It's 2 lanes. But you'll also see a lot of... You'll probably see a lot of rebuilding and not rebuilding from Superstorm Sandy, because that's really where it took the licking that you see on the news. Because I was Manilokin and fires and all that, and things making their own inlets. All of that was down Route 35, right along the ocean there. Mm-hmm. So you'll definitely see some stuff.
I just went through there a couple days ago, and there's still. It'll be done by Memorial Day, but there's still detours in Bayhead. They're laying new water lines or pipes or gas lines or something. They still, and most of the destroyed houses are pretty much gone, at least from Manilokin.
Yeah, it looked like a bomb had gone off at first.
They have money there, but there's still a few down in Britt Township, Toms River Township, where there's still a few houses kind of leaning over, and it's sad to see, but I guess it's an attraction.
Yeah. Well, we're on Point Pleasant really quick. So Point Pleasant has their own flitzer. We were definitely the flitzer capital of the world. Mm-hmm. We had 3 flitzers at one time. Besides the flitzer, I definitely say don't miss the Fun House in Jenkinson's. It's down a ways in the flitzer. It's north across some of the bars there. It's a 2-story fun house, and it's not a portable fun house. It's custom made, and it's a modern day fun house take, and it has some great tricks, and they change it up every now and then over the years, and I just highly recommend going through it. It just brings back memories of older big fun houses. When I was a kid in Asbury Park and things like that. So definitely don't want to miss that fun house.
I love fun houses.
Yeah, if anyone needs information on it or needs to know where it is, I can draw you a map. But it's if you just walk north on the boardwalk in Point Pleasant, you'll basically run into it because the boardwalk kind of zigzags around it, so you'll come straight ahead to it. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, that's good for me.
Josh, have you ever been there to Point Pleasant Beach?
No.
No.
The whole boardwalk's probably about a mile long, but the whole area where there's commercial is just maybe 3 blocks. It's very short.
Yeah.
So it's you can walk from one end to the other in under 10, 15
It's a different boardwalk feel too than Seaside. It's much narrower the boardwalk. You know,
that's actually, that's very close to where I grew up, and we went to Point Pleasant more than anywhere else.
Oh yeah, me too. Just to ride my bike to Point Pleasant. So,
yeah. But it's got a different feel to it. Unfortunately, it's kind of gotten a little upscale. It is very difficult to park around there. That's the other reason why we're so sharp.
I'll warn you right now. When it comes to parking, don't park and think, I'm not going to see that meter. You'll definitely get a ticket. If they're professional giving tickets, that's where they make their money. So just be really diligent if you're going to pay a meter. Overfeed it, whatever you got to do. Seaside, they don't really have the meters of the coins anymore. They mark your spot, and you go over to a machine. You put your debit card in, you punch your number, your parking spot in, and off you go. And just remember to put more in if you add time. There's nothing worse than wrecking your day with a $20 or $30 or whatever how much it is ticket. So I don't want.
Or go to there's lots in Seaside and Wildwood. Not a lot of lots.
Yeah, there's a whole ratio to the lots. If I know I'm going to be at Seaside for 8 hours and the lot's like $10, it's worth it. If the lot's like 15, I'm only going to be there for 4 hours. Pay the meter. So you kind of got to balance it out. And their lots, they're smart. They watch the weather. They see how many people are coming in, and they raise about an hour. They figure it out. The prices go up and down. You can haggle with them if you want to. You can go 1 block further away and save $5 sometimes. So it's kind of funny. But just make sure you feed the meter. Don't forget to feed the meter.
Feed the meter.
Feed the meter. Yeah, that's where they make their money. So that's.
All right, before we get going, because I believe my mind's smoking on information. May 16th.
Oh,
yes, Diggerland.
May 16th, Diggerland.
I'm going. I think I RSVP'd, but I'm going.
Yes, for folks that don't know, Diggerland, they have, I think, 2 or 3 parks in the UK. This is the only park like this in the United States. And those guys, they came through our winter adventure, great adventure, and they did a great job. And they are just hilarious, man. They're rolling out the red carpet for us. And if you don't know, Diggerland's all the rides are based on tractors and bulldozers, and they've stunt shows, and you get to drive things, and it's going to be crazy. I mean, and the price is $15.
Now, have you been there yet?
I have not. I've been waiting for this event. I skipped it last year. We just didn't have enough time to do it, and I made sure I was going to come down. I was invited to go. I'm like, no, I'm just going to wait. We're going to do an event there, and I am just so excited to go there. I just know, I've seen some of the attractions, and it's just going to be a really cool time, and you're never going to be able to experience that anywhere else except for May 16th at Diggerland. So.
Yeah, so everybody should go to Diggerland because it's only $15.
$15. And they came up with that price for us. So, they're really... If you don't know Josh Carew of Casino Pier, he's one of the operation managers, and then Jamie Blackwell is another operations manager. I don't know the exact titles there. And he was from Funplex. So we had an event there. And so we knew those guys before they knew those guys. And they get along like unbelievable, and they just, they know what we're all about.
And Chris Peters used to work at Indiana Beach.
Oh, that's right, Indiana Beach. So the 3 of them, they totally get us. So, expect no confusion or anything like that. They know exactly how to give us a good time. So I would definitely say don't miss it.
Yeah, I'm going. I can't bring my kid. He'll be in Disney, but I'm going.
Good.
I'm really late. I have to go to the wedding. But I'm leaving right after the ceremony.
Hey, you know what? Diggerland's not that far away from, Clementon, so maybe you could squeeze it in.
It's not a bad idea.
We're going to have some brochures, and they give us some giveaways at our registration table, so another surprises, so we'll see what happens.
That works for me. Yeah. So before we go, do you guys have anything else to say about con or side events? Anything?
I just want to finish up. Because we didn't get through all the events. Sunday the 28th is Luna Park Fest to Coney Island, coordinated by the New York Metro Region, David Finkelstein, and he's actually going to have a welcome table at Sunday check-in as well. And I believe, I don't think they have their flyer up yet, so I'm not sure. I think it's RSVP and pay when you get there event, but I don't want to be absolutely sure about that. But
yeah, Luco actually just got the information from Finkelstein So I guess he's working on the flyer now. I hope.
It'll be up soon then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, we spoke with Brian Watts from Eastern Pennsylvania. Hershey Park should be up like any minute now, and they're still working on Dorney. That won't be far behind. So I would guess, I don't want to speak definitively, but I'm imagining all the event flyers will be up within no more than 10 days. And I also am at least going to, whether we get a hold of the parks and confirm things or not, I at least want to get some kind of informational page up about the shore crawl for Friday evening, Ocean City and Atlantic City. And then one more event, Bill Galvin, the assistant rep for Race Mid-Atlantic, who really, really loves Ocean City, Maryland, and so do we, is like the only date that we have left. He's just tagging on the end on Monday, June 29th. For an event at Trimper's Rides in Ocean City.
Yeah, if you guys are heading south, that's the way to go. Hey, let me plug Ocean City, Maryland real quick. Yeah, Mark and I and my family went down to Ocean City, Maryland for the first time. Not Mark's first time, but our first time. And man, they have the best haunted house down there. I can't say enough about this haunted house. It's so awesome. It blew my mind. So if you haven't been down to Ocean City, Maryland, try to get there sometime. That haunted house just was amazing.
Now, is that the one is it Ocean City or is it Rehoboth Beach?
Oh, now, yeah, the Rehoboth Beach one is another one in Rehoboth. Totally different one, yeah. So there's two. Yeah, you can take the ferry.
Well, actually, no, there's two in Ocean City, actually.
Well, that's true, yeah. You can actually take the ferry from Cape May. If you're in Wildwood, you're like, oh, what am I going to do? You could jump on the ferry and go to Rehoboth Beach for the day if you wanted to. If you're that adventure, grab a haunted house ride, and then take the ferry on back to Cape May.
So you're telling me the haunted house in Ocean City is? How would you compare the Rehoboth Beach haunted house? Because I haven't been to Ocean City, Maryland's one. So how would you compare the two?
Well, I mean, everyone has an opinion of what's their favorite, but I got to tell you, I thought the Ocean City one was better. I mean, the car that you sit in is a coffin, and they close it like on your legs, and I don't know, it has some I don't know.
It's got a lot of old school flavor to it.
Really, really cool. They're both awesome, and you definitely don't miss them.
The one at Funman in Rehoboth is a little more polished, but it just might not have the same fright or just the same kitschy. I don't think it probably.
Yeah, because I've only done the Rehoboth one. I didn't do Ocean City.
Yeah.
So now I have to try the Ocean City one.
You've been on the Rehoboth one?
Yeah, I love that one. So.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Well, Ocean City does a few like really, really more wild things that like the one at Funland would never do. So it's got some surprises in it, and the coffins, and just the location too. I mean, it's really. The far southern end of Ocean City with the old boardwalk and stuff. It's really cool down there. They have, the amusement pier.
Oh, yeah, the walk-through funhouse, too. They have a really long walk-through funhouse, too. Was it Pirates Cove or something like that? Excellent. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So now I have to go. Now I have to go down there.
And and between, I think there's two Jolly Roger locations. There's one at 30th Street, which has a Schwarzkopf Wildcat. And usually what they do with the Mid-Atlantic event is they'll get like a discount for book tickets or so. I'm not sure exactly how it worked last year, but we got a good deal at Jolly Roger too. And there's Jolly Roger on the pier, which is kind of up the block and across the boardwalk from Trimpers. And so between the Trimpers and Jolly Roger's 30th and another little FEC out on US 50 on the mainland where they have another wacky worm, Maryland, Ocean City, Maryland is like the wacky worm capital of the universe.
Yeah, we got Flitzers, they got wacky worms.
Yeah. I remember one Friday night about 3 years ago. I think I was on my way to the convention at Dollywood. I was king of the Maryland wacky worms. I wrote them all in one night.
That's fun. They also have a working zipper too. I should mention that too.
Yes. Shrimpers has a zipper.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they took the toboggan down, but they still have a zipper.
Yep.
So.
Zippers are the spice of life.
There you go.
Well, they could bang you around. I get headaches on them things, but they're still fun.
Yeah. I should just mention before we go is Riding the Bull still on. It's for September 12th.
Yes, September 12th.
Yeah. We won't share the event with anybody this year. We have our own day. We have our own ERT.
Oh yeah, the vaccine maybe or two.
Yep. So we'll miss out on the informal takeover time, but I think you'll see a more a longer ERT and the way things were. So I don't expect to have the turnout that we did because of the con. But who knows? People. I mean, once you're at Auditorium, I'm like, hey, I need to go back again. I need 2 hours of ERT on that. So the price is always right there for riding in the bull, and if only 150 people show up, then good for us, right?
Yeah.
We get there, we'll get more.
And we got to say, it was when the question came up, are we going to do it? Because the convention was there this year. It was a park who said, well, sure, why not?
Yeah, no problem at all.
I mean, we did not have to convince them in the least.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, sure, you want to do it, we'll do it. So,
hey, if they're all for it, then hey, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure my young one, after he gets off of El Toro, is gonna be like, I gotta ride it.
Definitely.
Because my oldest one is
yeah,
still.
well, I mean, I just, and I don't want to say this too loud, but I mean, you kind of got to acknowledge that, I mean, riding in the bull is easy. If you have a season pass, it's dirt cheap. I mean, there's a lot of members live close by. It's like,
yeah.
Of course, it's always going to draw big. I mean, we're lucky with that. Convention, it's a bit bigger commitment.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but I don't expect the attendance, if it dips, it'll dip that much at all. I really don't.
Well,
I mean, for riding in the so
yeah, I mean,
we had 375 last.
yeah, wasn't last year the biggest?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, it beat 2013 by what, 5 people or something
like that.
2012 by like 10 people.
Yeah.
So every year we say, nah, we're done. It's good.
Hey, I mean, with 2013, we almost didn't even have a bull, and we still got people. They had.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was the year broke.
Yeah, the year broken bull. Yeah, like what do we do if we ended up with a lot of people still, and they got it going for us? So that was awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was one train operation for that one.
Yeah, there was one train, and then we had.
That was the year the lift motor went.
Yeah, the lift.
And there was another year that I think we had one train, but still, it did fine.
Yeah.
It's always a great event.
Hey, riding the bull became one of those events. It's kind of like going to Phoenixville Fun Fest. It's just one of those events you just have to go to. You don't ask what's on the flyer. You know how much it is, and you just go.
Yeah, I'm glad you think so, but that's flattering.
That is flattering, yeah. It is sort of a social event, probably because the price is right and the location is good, You're already going to go to Great Adventure anyway in August. Why not come in September and you get some ERT, you get some good Mexican food, and you're going to meet all your friends. So...
Yeah,
and the ones who do it every year know they're going to see everybody. So, and, especially the ones that travel a lot, they go overseas.
I know, I haven't missed one yet. I've gone to all of them.
Yeah.
I haven't missed
one. Me too.
Yeah, me too. I had to go.
Yeah. Well, no, I missed for a while. I couldn't get to the events when I was working at the hotel. Remember, I used to show up 3 hours late for everything?
Yeah.
And I wasn't a rep until 11, so... I didn't have to be there, but still. Yeah, so we're doing Riding the Bull again. How many is Siete? Yeah.
I was waiting for you to come up with I don't know my Spanish, so just Riding the Bull.
Yeah, riding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can just write a big number 7 in whatever language you speak. That's how you.
There you go. I've already shied away from Roman numerals and you're putting them back on.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's like, oh God, don't Roman numerals for Seaside Street this year. I'm like, I don't want to look that up.
Yeah. Well, this year is actually the longest CoasterCon Roman numeral that we've ever had, and we won't have another one this long for 50 years.
By heart? I bet you know it by heart, right? It's like,
well, it's just 38. It's a long Roman numeral.
No, but what is it? It's like, what is it?
Triple X3, Triple X.
See, I knew you knew it.
Next year will be Triple XIX, and then the year after will be CoasterCon 40, and that'll be CoasterCon XL.
This is what happens when you don't have kids. You get too much time.
Really? I know. Well, We'll take Super Bowls. And next year's Super Bowl 50, right? So it'll be just Super Bowl L. It looks funny, but that's what it is.
large Super Bowl.
Large. Yeah. Extra large. That's great. All right, guys. Well, thank you for calling in. And when all the stuff comes out, I'll make sure I pass it along to everybody. And as we get closer, I'll just keep pimping it out for you. And
Sure. You know, hopefully we'll have more information to give you as we get a little closer. You know, we can go into a little bit more details on everything. But if anyone has any questions, I messaged you the CoasterCon Facebook page. I know you're already on there, and we're posting on there regularly. So if you have any questions or whatever, and I have some maps I put up there, I'll have to repost and some funny videos and all that. So
yeah, what I'll do is after the show is I'll post the link.
Yep.
And on everywhere, and then that way, if anybody has any other questions, that as it gets closer, you'll have more answers of what you can talk about, and then they can ask them. So.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Can I just give a couple of closing pitches? Everybody knows where the flyer is. It's on the Ace website. It's on Facebook, CoasterCon page. There's links. If you're thinking about going, I know everybody likes to wait till the last minute, but it seems like it's a long way off. It's still 4 weeks till the cutoff, 4.5 weeks, something like that. But just just don't let time slip away. Register as soon as you can if you're going. And let me see, CoasterCon 38 on Facebook page, American Coaster Enthusiasts New Jersey region on Facebook. All the Seaside Screams 9 has its own page, and Clementon will shortly. And also aceonline.org and coastercon.com. There's a lot of really helpful stuff up there. And keep your ears tuned. And when's your next show?
Next Thursday. I do them every Thursday unless I'm going like some trip.
All right. If you want to ring me in again, if more questions come up, I don't want to speak. I don't know, Bret, what's your schedule like? But I'll be around next Thursday if you want to do it again. So.
Yeah.
Once we get closer, we'll definitely have things to talk about. So.
Yeah. Once we get all the information down, we can have a whole CoasterCon show, and then by then you guys should have an entire boatload of new information that you can spill.
There you go.
Which is good because I like.
Yeah. And one more thing. Yeah, one more thing too. If you're still on the fence, or if you haven't finished all your reservations yet, we did make a lot of calls around Wildwood, and we have a really good slate of motels. I know the room blocks at Maury's filled up really, really quick, but we've got some great rooms at some great prices, great locations. Mm-hmm. If you go to coastercon.com, there is a hotel flyer. And actually, it's on the CoasterCon Facebook pages, but it needs a little boost. Maybe I'll repost it.
Yeah. And people were definitely, they were finding hotels, and they were posting them, hey, and they were filling up this finding them. So these are, Mark got this list together, and it's very helpful. There's really not any, terrible locations in Wildwood as far as, there's shuttles and trolleys and trams and, a lot of things are distance, so.
Everything's kind of within that cluster where you can walk to, but if you got something further out, we are going to have the trolley running from Wildwood Crest up to Mariners Landing Pier, and it just, it'll be as convenient as possible, but, just don't, get discouraged thinking there's nowhere to stay affordable in Wildwood. There is, but just look for the hotel flyer on coastercon.com, and you'll find something that'll work for you. And I guess that's it. And we'll talk soon.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right, thank you guys for calling in, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good night, guys.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, guys, so that was Bret and Mark from the Ace, New Jersey region, and they were just going over everything. They'll be back on again, and they'll spill some more beans on it. Maybe you're still on the fence about going. Maybe you're going. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're thinking about it. Either way, if you could swing it, I know to me this was probably the most expensive con, but the way I look at it is if you got the funds to go, I know not everybody can go. I didn't have the funds last year, so I didn't go. But if you got the dough to go, and if you have the Six Flags season pass, for $264, where can you go for that kind of money to have meals and admissions included in all these places, and exclusive ride time and tours and all kinds of stuff? Because, when I've been to 3 Coaster Cons, and I've always made videos for them, and You know, we had the one the last one I went to was the one up in New England. And let me tell you, Costa Con is fun. You know, between Midway Olympics, all the ERTs, it's like a big socialized event. It's just one of those events that I say, you know, it's one of those you must go to events. And I know it's expensive. I know, like Larry said, he has to do a bunch of stuff in his bathroom, so he can't go this year. But another year, he'll, Larry, you have to make it out 1 year to go to one of them. You got, if you can go, or if you're a kid and you want to go, convince mommy and daddy. Say, hey, it costs this amount of money. I'll do chores around the house. I'll cut the grass all summer. Something like that, along that line. And, figure a way to go. Costa Con is awesome. There's so many events surrounding it. Hershey, Dorney, Clementon, Seaside Heights, Luna Park. There's just so much stuff to do. And Luco, you better get cracking on the flyer. You can't sleep on the flyer. You got to get that done. Because I want to print it out and look at the flyer in my face. So that's your job, Luco. Get it done. I'm scolding Luco like a 5-year-old. But, yeah. See, I'm going to Florida this year, September, but I'm only doing like 2 days in Disney. So, as a matter of fact, my spoiled brat of 2 children are going in like 8 days. I'm not going. They're going with their mom and their stepdad and their stepbrothers and their little brother, their little half brother. It's like a what do you call it? A Jerry Springer episode. But they're all going down in 8 days, and they're gonna spend, I guess, 4 days down in Disney. Lucky little stinkers, and they better bring me home a present, or I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad. But still, it's, I don't know. Regardless, Disney's expensive. I don't know. Get that flyer ready, Luco. People are waiting for it. They need to budget their pennies. Budget their pennies. But yeah, so Bret and Mark, they'll call back in at another time. Once all this information comes out, we will talk about it. Especially if you're on the fence about, even if you're not going to con, maybe you can hit a pre-con event or a post-con event. Maybe Seaside Heights or Luna Park. Or maybe you go to Hershey or Dorney or Clementon. Or maybe you're going to head down to Ocean City. I don't know. But it's definitely going to be fun. So before we go, I don't know how many of you are going to Wooden Warrior Day on Saturday. I will see those that are going. And then Sunday, for those that are going to the Mountain Coaster event out at Berkshire East, with the Mountain Coaster event, we will be heading out for that as well. So I'll make sure. And I'm sorry, guys, I've been lacking, going to events. And usually I've been making all these videos. I used to make them all the time, and then I stopped. And here's my issue. I've been having so much fun with everybody, and I'm all excited now that Jeremy can ride all this bigger stuff. So I kind of get lost in translation of making these videos. And it's my job. When I do the show, it's my job to try to, record it, take pictures, to do something. And I failed the last few events. I really have. Now, we've already talked about Wicked Cyclone. You're a little bit late. That was the first thing that we talked about. So you'd have to go back and watch Wicked Cyclone. And one more thing, speaking of Six Flags doing, I cannot promise this. Because I asked the park when Goliath was going to open. Now, they couldn't give me a date because, they're still, testing and all that other stuff. They said they are trying for this weekend, but they could not promise it. Maintenance and all that stuff, they could not guarantee it. So don't go there going, Josh said that Goliath's going to be open. No, Goliath, I cannot promise you will be opening. They are trying to get it done, but I am not promising it. I'm not guaranteeing it. The park is not promising or guaranteeing it. It was just in conversation, and there is a possibility. And we'll see. So, for those that are going to Six Flags New England this weekend, You might have a smidgy of a chance to ride Goliath. I can't promise you, though. So if you're going, maybe. And maybe you just might see Wicked Cyclone testing. I doubt they're going to have it testing on the weekend because people are going to be running up there thinking the thing's running and it's not ready. So I don't know what they're going to do in that aspect. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I mean, it'd be cool if they did, just so they could kind of, even if they do a few laps, just to let people see this thing going in all its glory and all its beauty. I think it would be great. But regardless, anyway, so if anybody, definitely going to take video, because the cool thing is, when you ask the park, you ask Quasi if you could take video on the ride of Wooden Warrior during the ERT, yes, they'll let you do it, usually, 9 out of 10 times. Matter of fact, back when I actually broadcasted live a POV of Wooden Warrior live, like 2 years ago, I did that. But usually, they will let you. So I'm going to definitely record, videotape. I call it videotape. I'm old school. I know there's no tape. It's recording, but I call it videotape. I'm going to record all the Quasi. We're going to record the mountain coaster, if we can, if they allow us. There's going to be a nice little event going on there. So there'll definitely be a great weekend. I mean, I've been to Quasi a bunch of times. Jeremy can ride everything. The mountain coaster, on the other hand, is different. We've never ridden it, so Luco's just going to have to remind me to, hey, record this thing. So, But regardless, so whoever's going to Wooden Warrior, I will see you this weekend. We'll be back. Let me see, before I say this, there's no events next weekend. So I'll be back next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, and hopefully next week we'll have more flyers coming out because events are piling in and we're looking for flyers. So we'll check it out, give you a cost, give you what you're going to get, and we'll see you next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until then, have fun this weekend. If anybody sees anything cool, like Wicked Cyclone testing, whatever, make sure you tell me. I want to know all about it. Or any new stuff that you've done. But anyway, till next week, same bat time, same bat channel. I'm your host, Dr. Giggles. See you next week, and keep on coasting, baby! Woo! Peace out.